Looks like the animals are hungry. Mark here and my wife Tara, and welcome to the 10 Acre Woods. Today we are going to show you some animals that came in, and we're going to do a little bit with the greenhouse. And what do you have there?
See my sloth?
A sloth. And where did you get that?
Hola.
Okay.
One of my volunteers.
All right.
I need a bobblehead for the front of the driveway, but it needs to be of me.
Yeah, like a life size. Well, and he looks like he's ready for the warm weather.
Yeah.
Which we have been getting some warm weather, and we will be getting more of it. 29 degrees Celsius for the next, well, almost for the next week. So it is warming up. You can see around here the leaves. So the leaves are coming out, and things are starting to green up. So we're going to go and feed the animals and show you some new arrivals that came in. There are, I guess, 29 of them.
28.
28 plus 1. Ah! I'm on top of things today.
Yeah.
I already had my coffee.
But there's a whole, 18 of the 28 are pregnant.
Yeah. So, well, that happens. So here we go. So here they are. Well, half of them anyway. These are the boys, and the girls are over in the other pen. So these rabbits, 28 of them, were seized from a property about 5 hours away. And the family that brought them down to us didn't get home till about 5 in the morning. They arrived here probably 11 o'clock at night. And they brought these guys in. Now, we did do last year, there was a rescue. The first batch was about 350 rabbits. We ended up a total of about 600 rabbits last year, and they were in really rough shape. These guys are actually in fairly decent shape. It's my understanding the conditions they were in were not good. Some of them did have some ear mites, so we have separated them after treating them. Yeah, it was the larger ones, which are down at the end there. And we treated their ears with basically canola oil, which works really well because it smothers the mites. So those are the boys. As soon as they came in, we sexed them, and we put the girls over here. Hi, girls. Hi. Look at, we got one, one just hanging out in the feed trough. I don't know what that one's. Oh, I know what this one's doing. Look at the one in the middle there. No. Yeah. So we are expecting, and this one here is nesting.
So she can actually be moved over because this is the...
So she's picking a bunch. She's going to make a nest, and then she's going to start clucking. Oh, okay, there she is. All right. So we'll move her over to a different area? Yeah. Okay, so she's going to have her babies in there. And most of them are probably pregnant. So we'll keep you updated on that. These ones here, and these ones they're just the boys, right?
No, these are pregnant girls.
Oh, are they girls? Okay.
Yeah, these are pregnant girls that I thought were closer because there was already hair missing on their bellies.
But these are also the ones that had the mites.
Ear mites, yeah.
So they are larger rabbits with, of course, larger ears, and it looks like more susceptible to the mites. So they got treated all up, and they got put it in here. So we'll check them out.
Look at her.
What's that? Oh, is she? She's still going. Well, I did a video, oh boy, 4 or 5 years ago on a rabbit giving birth. I stayed up myself till probably, I don't know, 5 in the morning. And I just looked at the video this morning. It's gotten 130,000 views.
Yeah.
It was rabbit gives birth to 6 kittens, I think, which kittens... it's not really clickbait because it is known, they're known as kittens or kits. So she'll make her nest, and she's taking a whole load. And then, you got some company in there. Says, hey, you're making me.
This one keeps sitting up here. It was on top yesterday. It's like prime location, right?
It says, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
So she'll start pulling her fur like right before she's ready to give birth. So we'll watch for that. This is kind of the first stage. She's just getting her nest all prepared and ready to go. And we'll have some little baby bunnies. Alright, feeding time. Alpacas and pigs. Petey and Piper usually are hanging out by the door. Here they come. Alright.
Oh.
What'd you get?
Come here.
I can't.
Oh.
There are pigs and alpaca in my way. You'll have to show me once they're done.
Yeah.
Okay. So what we've done is we've moved the little mama to be over into this pen here, just to kind of separate her. So there she is over there. And we've got her box in there as well. And there is another mama that Tara put in here last night, was it?
Upon arrival.
Upon arrival.
Already pulled all her
So
hair.
she was already starting to pull, so she's in there. So we've got the two mamas in there just to give them a little space. And here is Penny and her 5 little ones. So she's just teaching them how to eat, peck at the ground, and then we've got Pluto. Little Pluto over there, and we'll probably move these guys outside into the outer enclosure with Henry. Okay, so what do you got? Oh, how did that happen? So did one get out, or That's a pretty big rabbit to have gotten
she's
out.
pulling her hair, so.
Did she?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're
Okay,
gonna
so
have
she
to...
can go in the back, Tiana. So obviously she got out. I know, sweetheart. She's very, very big. So we'll kind of take her fur.
And make her a little house.
Put her fur in there. Yeah, put her in there. It's always tricky because you don't want them dropping them all over the place. You want them to focus on having them in one spot. And we are turning the lights off during the day in here so that it's darker.
There you go. That's better.
But where was she? Was she?
Who knows? Well,
Good thing we didn't step on that hay coming in.
yeah, I'm thinking that she maybe got left out when we were bringing them all in and separating them.
These are. We know these are all girls, right?
Yeah, those are girls.
Just a.
Yeah, just to make sure.
These are the heavily pregnant girls.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, Thump. She's
Marking her territory.
Yeah, marking her territory. Telling the other ones that she means business.
Yeah. We'll add a few more hutches, little houses. These crates are awesome. I should actually get more of them.
Well, they fold. That's the fold down kind too,
Yeah.
right?
So I just folded up the lid and tied it.
So I'm editing the video, and I noticed Tiana had on her Shine Like Sheldon fanny pack, or bum bag, or whatever they call it now, and Tara's wearing her her yoga pants, the 10 Acre Woods yoga pants. And so we do have merchandise, and when I saw that, I thought of the discount that Teespring is now offering us to pass along to you. So we've now hit 50 sales in merchandise that's been sold off, so they'd like to congratulate us and offer you an additional 10% off your purchase. So if you didn't know we had merchandise, you can check the link that's down in the description. There's a few of them there. But if you have any ideas for designs, if you're any good at graphic arts, you can actually make a design and you can email it to us at 10acrewoods@anola.mb.ca. And we'll now head back to the video.
Spill some greens there.
So Penny is just teaching her young eating, and she'll scratch at the ground and then they'll all come running to that area where she scratched.
Well, there's the one loner trying to do it by himself.
We've got the one in the back and that one's like, I know how to do this, Mom.
It's a boy.
An independent little boy. We had some volunteers over the last week, and this is getting much better. So it was piled up after the winter. It gets piled up pretty much to that the top of that board there. So Petey and Piper's winter nesting area is all nice and clean. And you can see the height difference here. So this hasn't been cleaned out, nor has this section here been cleaned out. So it's coming along, and it is a great help when we can get it. Nice and bright and sunny. Fernando, how you doing, buddy? So they've been making great use of the pond, and we did make a post about Timmy the turtle. So we have seen Timmy. Let's see if we can catch him. I don't see him. Usually he's sitting over there on the edge, but it seems like whenever I pull out this camera, we can't see him. Oh, there's a little, looks like a killdeer, I think it is. It was flying around yesterday, and they just basically hang out around the water's edge. Oh, there we go. Or a sandpiper. They have a neat call when they go around the yard when they're flying. All right, so we'll keep an eye out for Timmy. Okay, just as I shut off the camera, I saw Timmy. He's actually right there. I'm surprised that he's not just dumping into the water, because I'm actually pretty close. So there he is. There's Timmy. Now there's another one, because we've seen two of them around. Now the story with Timmy was a few years ago. He actually was found wandering down the driveway, I guess looking for water. So Tara had put him into the pond. So we have Kai over here, which is a Cayuga duck, and we have Harley, which is a harlequin duck. Very original names. So makes it easy when we can name them as per their breed. So there are a couple other Cayugas around. There's a couple other females. I'm not sure where they are at the moment, but these two have kind of matched up. So the next animal, the other animal that we did get in, we actually put her in this area here, where all the kids are. So we will move her out into the pond area, but we just wanted to kind of get her settled in this area. Let's see if we can find her. Oh, there she is. There she is. So she was brought in because she wasn't allowed to have ducks, and somebody, well, her neighbor, one of her neighbors, I guess had called and told on her. So she was looking around for a place, and her name is Henny Penny, or The other name she's given her is, hi Sheldon, is Mack. So you can see how she's mostly, at least she's darker in color. As Cayuga ducks get older, they tend to start to get white patches on them. So, how you doing, Mack? So her other roommate was a, I believe it was a Great Pyrenees, and the two of them would hang out quite a bit, and she would go and she would maintain his coat and kind of pluck away at him, but he didn't mind too much. So we've brought her now over here. She will go in to the pond area. We had put her in there initially, but the boys were kind of running around and chasing her, and we figured, well, let's ease her into this country life. So we figured, well, we'll throw her in here. She's never seen a pond before. Apparently, she bathed in the bathtub. So Tara's just over picking up the dog poop in the dog run. And what she had done that was last week, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Is she had installed this gate here. So normally what we would do is there's a gate over at the far corner, and we would have to let them out and around. So we do use the all-natural way to mow the lawn, which you can see we've got all the little mowers now working on that. So they mow and they fertilize all at the same time. So we will open up this gate here, and we will call them over. Come on, mamas! Come on! Yeah, they're like, they're not quite used to it. Oh, Sheldon knows. He's like, yeah, I know all about this gate. Oh, there we go. Lizzie.
Come on, Coco.
Once one starts to go, then they start to realize. Oh, yeah, that's what we do. Come on, kids.
Come on. Oh, Holly. Get excited.
What? It's not what you thought it was?
There's still oats on the ground.
Oh.
So we'll leave it open.
Okay, we'll just leave it open. So coming into our nursery pen, we have Vetiver, and we have Daisy the rabbit. Hi, Daisy. I don't know if I told you about Daisy's story. So she was actually found in the city running wild. So it could have been somebody's pet rabbit that got out. It could have been just, a dump. Somebody was allergic, which that does happen. And then we have Snowball. Snowball's a white one, and she's around here somewhere. And Scooby. Scooby loves his little dish. Hey, buddy, what are you doing in there? Oh, Scooby. He just lives in this. Now, we've got him in here as a precaution. There has been a fox around, and the crows can be pretty violent. So we're really concerned with him being out on the pond. He would love it, but I think he really loves his little bowl. So we would hate to lose him. We lost Atlas the rooster last year to a crow, or 2 years ago. I don't even remember anymore. That 2020 just confuses things. But we lost Atlas from a crow, or a couple crows actually. So we're just being the protective parents we are, and having Scooby stay in here. Hi. Yes. So speaking of rabbits, this is our rabbit enclosure, which nobody's in there at the moment, because we want to revamp this. So somebody was out, another volunteer, a mother and her little boy was helping. Oh, there's a little chipmunk. Is that Chip? Is that Chip? First one I've seen this year. Anywho, as I was saying, she started pulling this material out for her garden. So her and her son were here probably for, oh, I don't know, it had to be 3 or 4 hours, and just cleaning everything out, bagging it, and she's going to put that in the garden because the rabbit poop and the mulch works really good for the garden. What are you guys doing? What are you getting into? Of course, the duck and goose winter home is this area here, and actually it does look like she's cleaned out some of this as well. There is cement pads or blocks, patio blocks, I guess, underneath here, which we put this in here because rabbits dig. So that's how we combated the digging problem. But of course now this is used for ducks and geese. Now over in this area, what we had done is we had put down wire mesh underneath so they couldn't dig out, and we actually had to replace the wire mesh at one point because we built this 2 decades ago, and over the course of about 15 years the wire, which is this stucco wire, just kind of rotted out, so we replaced that. Billy, what are you getting into? Are you getting into things? Hey bud? So we did do their hoofs as well as the girls, and we did that the same day our farrier was here. So she comes on a regular basis to do our ponies' feet, just to keep that all maintained and all trimmed up. Hi, Levi. I don't know if that tree's actually going to come back. It's looking pretty bleak. You can see here the boys, Billy and Carl, they tend to do some work on that. Hi, bud. Yep, it's me. Smell. There you go. Now lick. You're a funny boy. And Meadow. Hi, Meadow. How you doing, girl? Hey? Yeah. Oh, yes. Yeah. And Daisy. Daisy just goes on her own business. Hey, Daisy. She's not as interested as us humans as the other two are. So there's lots of green up here. Last year the ponies were actually in the back area, and it was just Carl and Billy, which I haven't seen Carl. He's somewhere out there. The two of them just weren't able to maintain the green in here, so it did kind of grow up. We've got to clear up a lot of this deadfall too. That's just yet another job that we need to do. Are you still standing on that rock? Are you that much higher in the air standing on that rock? I guess that's just what he does. He loves his rocks. There's a rock over by the buildings over there that he stands on quite often. Where's Carl? Where is he? You're not going to answer me? All right, you just go about your business. Oh, are you sleeping, old man? That's where you are. You know, I thought about it. Last year, the same thing happened. I was looking for him, and he was just in his bed. Oh, boy. All right, well, get out of the sun. He's being smart about it. We are going to go and our greenhouse, since the temperature is getting quite warm, I am going to go back, and I have a fan that I need to install in there because it's actually really hot. And with Tara getting her garden going, we'll also go over the garden as well and see how and what is growing in the garden. outdoors. So I bought an Insta360 Go 2, and it's a small little camera. It's about this big, and it comes in a case. And I thought it would be really good for the girls to use when I'm off at work, and they could capture some moments. So it was funny because I came out on the deck here, and Tara was in the garden, and I said, "Oh, you should have grabbed the camera." And she pulls it out and she shows me, and I'm like, "Oh, well, look at that. That's really good." So she went and she said she recorded a bunch of stuff, and she gave me the camera, and I plugged it into the computer and I checked the footage, and this is what I got.
Oh, are we still on?
So what had happened was, obviously she pushed it to do a little record, and then she pushed it again and it didn't shut off. And you always have to look at the camera to make sure the light is on. So this camera has a little red light on the front of it, so I know it's recording, but she didn't check. So she went around, and I can visualize her walking around talking to the camera. She said she went through the entire garden, and then she went to turn it off, but she was actually turning it on. So there's a little bit of a learning curve in there. So we're going to go out and see Tara. She's watering now in the garden, and we're going to get the garden update that some of you actually asked for in the last video. What about the garden? Well, we're going to cover that now. And here's Tara working hard. So watering?
I planted all my beans and peas. And a couple
Okay,
more strawberries.
I see something going on over here.
Yeah, strawberries. I'm going to try the strawberries in different spots to see what works best. Of course, we're still trial, right? I did strawberries in the hay bales, and they did really well until Fernando got in here.
And the blueberries that we got last year, that none were supposed to make it.
Blueberries.
Wow, very little. Blueberries?
Where are you?
Raspberries.
Raspberries.
So, raspberries.
I'm like, where the heck are you looking? Like, blueberries are on the other side of the yard. Yeah, every one of them.
Yeah.
Every one of them made it.
So we got these from somebody in the neighborhood.
Patricia.
And Patricia.
Yeah.
Thank you, Patricia. They all survived. So she was cleaning out and thinning out her garden, wasn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and yeah, changing beds, and so these were all young ones, and the boys and I just went over there and plucked away. We watered them every day. Every day we watered them, and we actually got 2 harvests out of them last year.
Yeah.
Which is shocking because it was the first season. But there's a lot, and there's a lot of new little growth like poking up to the sides. I'm gonna see how long it grows, but I may trim off the. You're not supposed to trim them, but like this one's not. It's a dead stalk that's kind of not growing, and I'll trim them out. You don't have to trim them, but hopefully one day it'll fill out the whole thing. The animals will trim that side. I just have to trim the one side.
Now, what are you doing with tomatoes? So you're going to put tomatoes back in here?
I've got them all seeded inside.
Okay.
And once after May long, I'll seed them out here. I want to get a load of soil though, to mix it with all this compost.
Okay, May long is our Victoria weekend,
Yeah,
Victoria Day weekend.
And it usually freezes.
Queen
here.
Victoria's birthday. And that is usually on the weekend closest to May 24th.
Storms and
yeah,
ice
so it's
rain and
basically our weather stabilizes.
Yeah.
We kind of wait until May 24th. It's
but
beautiful.
all the cold weather crops. So I've got all the carrots, beets. They're all in because they like the cold weather. And last year I did the carrots in the hay bales. This year they're going in the ground. Beets are going in the ground. I'll slowly weed out the hay bales and make planters, but might as well use. They're still in good condition.
Yeah, so we went all straw or hay bales. Straw bales. Straw bales. And they just didn't. They weren't decomposed enough, I guess.
They are, but you have to fertilize. Like they did well, and plants grew, and they're great to use, height-wise, work-wise, less weeds. But you have to fertilize every week.
Yeah, and you're going to basically just build boxes around them, is that it?
Yeah, and then this will become the bottom, and then I'll add and it'll just mix in with the, because it's good
Compost.
drainage.
Yeah, and drainage.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, and they'll still be a good height, so there'll be a raised garden, essentially.
Yeah, kind of like the beds on the other side or the tomatoes, and I'll just make them on this side, utilize everything, and.
Yeah, and this is all scrap wood that we got. So we've got our pile of scrap, which you saw there when I was installing the fan. So there's always a pile of wood over there, which is good this time of year, or this year, because of the price of lumber.
Yeah, I haven't had to buy any yet.
Yeah, not yet. We were
the
actually
fence.
thinking, because one of our projects is to build this same fence that goes pretty much across somewhere over here. We haven't quite figured it out yet. Straight across to the property line and then down that way, so
I
that
still want to be able to
inner
throw the
pond
animals
is closed
veggies,
in.
even if they're locked in that side. I want to be able to throw them veggies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we'll have a gate that's over here that we can open them and move them
gates,
into
that's
the
what-
back area. And then generally at night they come back
Yeah,
up.
they're all...
So then we can close the gate. And it just, any kind of predators, it'll keep any foxes, coyotes, you know, any of those predator animals. And then we're going to put an electric wire across the top of it, and I believe along the outside of the bottom.
Tara will sleep a lot better if she doesn't have to get up in the middle of the night to animal check.
Well, we have lost a couple.
Well, last year the coyote got it.
Yeah, it was a
years ago?
coyote. That was last spring, I think it was, which was the back corner
No, it
of the
was 2 years ago.
property. Was it?
Yeah, because the guy that came didn't show up in a mask.
Oh, maybe.
So it was 2 years ago.
Yeah, we've realized that
Missed it.
2020 just really didn't exist. I don't know if you have that same thought, but you're thinking of something and you're like, oh yeah, that was last year. But it was actually 2019.
Yeah, out of year.
It's like COVID just took away our 2020. So,
Right?
okay, so you've done beans
Beans and peas. That's I'll water that. That's all that whole row.
and carrots.
And carrots and beets and onions. Kale, all your cold weather, collards,
She's labeling.
Swiss chard.
She tried out, these are
I
some
don't like
old blinds that we had. So she took them apart, and yeah, she doesn't like them because they kind of fall over in the wind. Yeah, well, you replace them with better blinds.
I took her blinds.
And those blinds were broken, I believe.
Yeah, the bottom one was.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I was doing it right then and there, and she's like, "Did you take my blinds?" I'm like, "Yep, sure did." Yeah.
So
But I don't like them. They bend too easy. Like with that one
Yeah.
little windstorm we had, they're
Well,
all knocked over.
Yeah, they're all knocked over.
So I'll use wood pegs.
So yeah, we've got a bunch of wood stakes that I got in Calgary when my sister was building her house out there. That had to have been 15, 18 years ago.
You know what might look good too?
Even longer than that. And there was a whole bunch of these pegs, the wooden stakes, that they had beside the garbage bin. And there was probably about 15 to 20 packages with about, I don't know, 30 of them in each one. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to laser engrave carrots and kale and all that on there. We've got enough. We should have enough to stake out all of those, and I think they'll last a lot better.
Well, I just thought you could even just take that, flip it, and put it on the top. I like it labeled because people come in here when I'm not in here. Oh, what is that? You know, so it's nice to have it labeled so that I can just tell people to go check it out, and I don't have to be there, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So the garden is open to people if they want to come in and check it out. Tara's very proud of her garden.
I am wheelchair accessible. Come get your hands in the mud.
Yeah, yeah. So, so that is, so that's what's happening. So not a whole lot of growth happening quite yet.
Right? See my beans? Look, there's beans there.
Is that this one?
No.
They'll be up, but we'll be giving you guys updates as time goes on.
When they sprout, it's so exciting.
Now this is the strawberries here, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you picked these up, obviously.
Yeah, I had some years ago, but you should replace them every once in a while. They're better. So I'll figure it out. But yeah, I want strawberries.
Yeah, Tara went shopping the other day and came home with, a bunch of plants.
Right?
Yeah.
Add a little bit every year.
Yeah. So the fan is pretty much in and set, as you saw from the video. It's actually not too bad temperature-wise in here now because the sun is, it's kind of tucking behind a cloud. So, if you've been watching us for a while, you may have recalled last year, or it could have been 2 years ago. Actually, it probably was 2 years ago. This controller here. So this, you can see, you should be able to see, it says 20.7 degrees Celsius. And that is a temperature controller, which is then hooked up. It's powered on here, and the fan is plugged into this. We have to basically make things pretty and zip tie them up. But what happens now is I've set this to 30 degrees Celsius. That's when it shuts off. It doesn't go below 30 degrees. And the high set point is 35 degrees. So it'll come on at 35 and drop down and shut off at 30. So it's 28 degrees now, so it's actually cooling down, probably for the night, so it's likely that this will not come back on. Now, some of you watching the video may have said, well, it's not really level, and no, it's not level. What I actually did is I leveled it to this top piece here, so it sat flush up against it. I'm not too concerned about it being perfectly square. This is a country build. It's not a house or a structure that has concerns with making sure everything's level. There's a few different things here that we did to just make it work. And it does work, and it works really well. There is watering her garden, and she's found
right
some
there.
and some asparagus.
You see, all of a sudden you're walking and you're like, pop,
Yeah.
there's another one.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah. This is the second year too, so we should be able to pick the bigger spears.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens. Well,
I know.
takes time.
Mind you, most doesn't end up in the house. I eat it before it gets in the house.
Yeah. Says, well, we didn't get anything this year.
This is my food for the summer. That garden sucked. No garden this year. There ain't it all.
Look at that cloud.
Look at the flowers on there.
Looks like we're gonna get some rain, so that's good. And
Haskap.
oh yeah, what is this?
Oh, haskap.
Haskap.
Actually, I think that's the honeyberry one. Yeah, that's the honeyberry. It's complementary to the haskap, but look at the berries that you're gonna get. Wow.
Yeah.
Those were last year's.
All right, well that is it for yet another video. I hope you enjoyed it, learned something, enjoyed seeing the new animals that came in, and everything else going on here at the farm. If you are interested in becoming a Patreon and supporting us, you can check out the link. It should be sitting somewhere right over here. Anywho, I wish you all a happy week, and we will see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.